Keyboard. So
This is a really hard one to demo too because it's kind of a game that you need to play through like twice before you really get it.
And I am not starting from the beginning because I think everybody has seen the beginning of Undertale. I am starting from wherever the hell I was the one time I played this, because I have never finished this game.
Oh. It changes a lot, so it'd be probably worth playing all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, one of these days I will. But, yeah, so Undertale is this very Earthbound-inspired RPG by the guy who did the soundtrack to a popular webcomic, which is kind of a weird concept. But honestly speaking, when I was reading through, or generally slogging through all of Homestuck, I did hit a point where it's like, I'm really just only in it for the music at this point.
He also did a piece of music for Y2K, the postmodern RPG.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
He deleted his mentions of him working on it later. As far as I'm aware. It's the best music track in the game.
Yep. But anyway, so the thing people know about Undertale is this is the game where when you fight a monster, you have an option to just fight it like a regular RPG, or talk to it and get weird jokes, and then make friends. And like, there's enough depth to the talking and little enough depth to the fighting that I'm kind of surprised the fighting is even there.
Yeah, it's clearly the thing you're supposed to be deciding against most of the time, though. The game's got like a large, like it's got like multiple sort of big paths for it. It's full of little moments like this.
What you were saying?
I was just basking in the duck for a moment.
Yep.
So basically, if you found that amusing at all, that's a pretty good litmus test for whether you'd like the rest of the game. They like their main paths depending on how like Paragon or Renegade you're playing it, but then there's like the endings are hugely modular that have like dozens of little variations too, which are pretty neat.
So everything in your inventory is odd.
It's definitely an ogre of a game. Like there's so much. So if you like games that you can sort of like pick apart for a really extended period and can resist looking up like every spoiler for, that's a pretty good one.
Something weird has happened to your voice. Did Discord cut out and get replaced with a phone?
Oh, strange. Can you still hear me? Test, test.
I can hear you. You just sound like you're like a robot suddenly.
Oh, that must be your connection then, or my connection. But I think my connection's fine because you sound fine.
Okay. And now my eye is red. So I think I came from this way, so we have to do this again.
I think one of the bigger criticisms of this game is that Sans and Papyrus are just not that funny to me.
You're kind of coming in and out. Let me reconnect the call. See if that fixes it.
I'm sure. Any better?
Oh, much better. Okay.
Okay.
So back to sharing Undertale and not sharing private conversations. There we go. Okay. So you were
So
saying?
yeah, my big problem with this game is that it seems like a whole lot of the appeal is just being really charmed by like Sans and Papyrus, and I just did not find them funny. I like Naps to Blue here, fine.
Yeah, for me, the like one character of note is Undyne.
Yeah, everybody just agrees Undyne is good.
I think I was actually.
Alphys kind of bugged me too, come to think of it, because she's honestly kind of a bad person and seems to get away with it because, like, oh, precious nerd girl. As if they can't be kind of bad people too.
Oh right. There's no way to win this.
I think there is.
If you encourage the snail too much, it gets like nervous and doesn't want to race anymore. Ow.
So the whole game is kind of a series of like mini games like this, which may or may not work as advertised.
Yep. Where's Snail? This is also a game that like talks a lot. What I'm kind of hoping is I can get myself into a fight and show off the ow, 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 ow. You're sharp.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot more adventure than gameplay.
Okay. Thank you for letting me go. I just got an impromptu massage for my cat, basically, as he was waking up and wanted some need. His claws really have gotten too sharp right now. I think I've mentioned several times because he does this a lot. But yeah, I will. Oh, hi, plot.
Oh yeah, it seems like you're in a generally pretty maze-heavy section.
Yep, I thought it was more interesting when I was first last playing this, so apologies for that. Hopefully I can wander into either a place with some random encounters, or at least into Temmie Village, which is kind of entertaining.
Random. I wouldn't call like the combat the only real part of the game anyway.
Well, no, I just want to show off the music in it. But then again, people are usually, I think, familiar with the soundtrack of Undertale, so that's not necessarily necessary.
I think Temmie Village might have been in a hidden passage, so it's worth checking all the dead ends.
I also am realizing now that, like, oh wow, I should have like left a note for what I was doing while I was playing this because I was like at a point where I was doing some backtracking. But yeah, it's a weird, quirky little game. Welcome to Flatland. Okay. One of my favorite parts of this is when you get to the whole like dog area, and you have all these dogs like getting ready to fight you, and then they don't really remember to do that and are very, very easily ignored. And if you try to do the talking thing, you can just like pet them, and they're like, oh boy, please more." And
As I
then
recall, there's a stick in the game too, which you can use to instantly cancel dog combat.
and then you like find this like super roided out like major set of armor dog that oh, I found progress. And you know it's the same thing where it's just a dog and we'll just be pet and belly rub. But anyway, so like I was saying, there is the option to just like talk your way through everything or fight things, and there are multiple endings. The like most polarized ones you're not allowed to get in your first time through. For just talk to everybody or kill everybody.
And there are like an actual finite amount of monsters in areas, so it's like kill everybody.
Yep. And apparently if you go the like genocide route, it like becomes an incredibly difficult game.
Yes.
Because the actual combat system is like, you know, hit this thing when it's in the middle to attack. And then for their attacks, there's this weird little mini game of like dodging bullet hell stuff in this little window.
I beat the final boss in only like 30 tries. I was very proud of that.
And the art is very like mixed media in this too, which is strange.
Oh, and you haven't even fought the neutral final boss. It gets much more mixed media.
Okay, this looks like a good example of how this game works.
Basically, every monster has unique mechanics, and the only consistent thing is moving the heart right around in this box.
And normally the act menu has slightly more interesting options under it than here.
Yeah, this is basically a boss
Oh boy.
character. did it crash?
It did crash, oddly enough.
The trains crashed.
That's kind of funny, actually.